Well, I mean, one of the first things you said to me when you walked in here really resonated with me that the best builders in the world have, I think, which is really care about the people you serve. And I'm not like paying you lip service, but
No,
because you
it's
came into my office and you said, hey, you really want to do this podcast thing, you have to obsess on who you're talking to.
yes.
And then you told me, at my podcast, here is who we are talking to. And then you were like, and remember, they're giving you an hour of their day. They don't have it. They could give it to anybody. They're giving it to you. What are you doing with it?
Yes.
And you used the word maniacal. You said,
Yes.
we are maniacal about giving that person value.
Yes.
And then we talked about all the things you won't do that could make you a ton of money and even more famous. But
I don't want to be
I
famous.
won't.
That is not why I got into this. Like
You want to be a
that
famous
part of,
life coach.
no, fuck you. No, I literally, that's like it's an occupational hazard. But I live in a town of 3,000 people in the middle of nowhere in Vermont. I live on a mountain. I look straight down a valley and I do not see human beings. And I shop for my groceries in a store where you can buy Carhartts and feed and fishing poles and fertilizer. And so I love just being a normal person. And, when your success comes after you almost lose everything that matters to you, you do not forget what matters to you.
Yeah.
And so to me, I am motivated on the business side by like one rule I have in business is don't ever take a deal you will be pissed off about in success.
Yeah.
Always bet on yourself unless you have to pay your bills. Then you take whatever deal you can until you can strike better deals. But always look at the long tail. And so one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand about the extraordinary success that I have built is I own all my content. Publishers do not own my books.
What?
Oh yeah, I do joint ventures. And I've severed all my audio rights.
With 8 million? Fuck, that was so smart. But that's a big bet because if people don't know, those are millions
why would you
of
take
dollars.
why, if you don't
Like how
it's
big
one
was
thing,
the advance? Do you think
I
you
don't
could have
take
gotten?
advance.
No, but if they would have offered you millions for let
Who
that.
cares? They
But
would
you
have
said
paid
no.
me pennies on the dollar.
Nope.
An advance is a loan for your ego. Shitty math. That's what an advance is. It is.
Yeah.
And there are writers out there that need the advance to be able to pay for their life. Take the advance. And then be smarter about your next deal and make sure book number 2 does not have that attached to it. Second thing I will tell you though, is you must sever your audio rights on every single book you do. Audio book is like having the world's single best rental property at the beach. And there's no cost.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's one digital file and will be around in perpetuity.
And it's pure value.
And
like
it's
how
pure
are they
value.
not going to, if your audience is paying $15-20 for an audiobook?
And there's no cost to creating the audiobook and no cost to shipping or stocking or storing or returning or warehousing an audiobook. Why would you give somebody that did nothing?
Oh, I feel that intensely.
Yes.
It's all about ownership and betting on yourself.
Yes.
Which I think
Well, which I was forced to do because nobody would give me a book deal.
Yeah,
In 2017, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And that book sold over 1 million copies too, didn't it?
Yes, largely because of the audiobook.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
That's how I discovered that, by mistake.
my mom Lori is a giant Mel Robbins fan and has read Let Them and gave me your first book and then gave me Let Them after I had already read it. And I think one of the coolest things for anybody who hasn't read them, my favorite part, people make books that are so long these days. And you kind of make the book only as long as it needs to be to give you as many examples and
Because I
instances.
can. Because I'm controlling the deal.
Right.
I'll give you another thing. So here's another thing to think about. So make sure if you have a physical product that you really think about the product in the environment.
Yeah.
Like when we did, for example, and I think about this obsessively about everything. So I think about the thumbnail of the Mel Robbins podcast as a consumer product.
Yeah.
So what does that thumbnail look like on Spotify? What does it look like on Apple? What does it look on somebody's car display? What does it look like on YouTube? What does it look like on the television screen where 30% of our audience on YouTube is playing it on a big screen? What does it look on an iPhone? And we photoshopped our top runners into those environments.
Smart.
It's why we didn't end up going with a black background, which looked better. In the environments, it didn't pop. So the design of the book was very simple. The test was this. If you were walking down a beach, half a football field away, could you go, oh, that's that book?
Whoa. What a good fucking idea.
And so think about the environment in which you are trying to break through, and is it recognizable? Because we overcomplicate everything. Understand that people are so overwhelmed right now that the more that you can simplify something, the more that you can be useful, people can get it like that, the more successful you're going to be.
Dying to come to this tour of yours.
You're coming.
You're want to know, give me like one instance of like, what is one of the magic moments at Mel Robbins? Like, what is a moment you remember about the show?
Well, I should say that this was one of the hardest things I've ever done because we hired, the person that we ended up hiring is the person that does tours for like Kendrick Lamar and the Super Bowl thing. So they're just singing at a different level. And I get into the opening call, and Charlotte's here in the room with me, who works on my team, who's one of our senior managers who was part of the tour core team. And they're like, yo, you could do a speech because people are coming to see you. You could do something nobody has ever done in spoken word. They've never done this in a podcast tour. They've never done it in comedy. They've never done it like in any kind of spoken word book event. I'm like, well, what's that? You could put on a show. Like, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, instead of telling everybody, what if you brought it to life? What if you didn't tell the story of being in the bed? What if we got you in a bed and you acted it out? What if we brought to life the whole process of the book? What if we made it an actual show with sets, with everything? And I was like, yes. I had no idea what they were talking about. Of course, because I have made a living doing speeches, which, by the way, speaking is, you have an hour, somebody else's event. You don't have to fill the seats. No. You don't have to put on the event. You have an hour. You show up. You do your thing. You leave. I was so dumb. Because I'm like, oh, I got this. Oh, this is easy. No problem. And meanwhile, Charlotte, my daughter Sawyer, and two other members of the team, they were working with the tour. Well, they're like putting it all. We did a 4-day workshop where we mapped, oh, this is going to be great. I got this. They start putting together the animation deck. Now I'm thinking, clicker point. I'll go out. Too. We show up for rehearsals. First of all, I had never, ever done my own events. I was kind of honestly nervous people wouldn't show up because I thought, I've never gone to a podcast tour. Who shows up for a podcast tour? Like, I don't even see the audience. People are like, oh, they're going to show up. I'm like, really? Maybe the venues are a little too big, guys. Like, this was me. All the shows sold out in 20 seconds. It was insane.
And there are like thousands of people in the audience.
Oh yeah. Every venue was between 3,000 and 5,000 people. And I was so pissed off because I did not understand that you had to request that they turn off dynamic pricing. And there was such a surge. Like, now you understand as a consumer what a racket this is. There was such a surge of interest that all of a sudden what happens is all the bots buy them and then the ticket prices go up. And I was so angry how expensive the tickets were because of the demand and then the resellers and all. I came on the first call afterwards and I said, I'll be damned if somebody's paying $1,000 and coming to this thing and they do not have the show of their life. Yeah. And so we invested in 3 documentary style cameras. We built one of these screens that is the quality of what you would see at Coldplay. So that if you were in one of the seats on the balcony, that it felt like I was right there. It mattered so much to me because I was mortified that people were paying this kind of money. And we have this huge confetti explosion because my favorite part of the Coldplay concert is when they explode all this confetti. And I had paid for those seats that are the first rung, but we weren't on the floor. And you're like reaching and pulling a groin muscle to try to get one confetti thing. And so I'm like, we are going to shower this place. We are going to rain it down with if you're in the we got fans because I wanted it to just feel like this sensory thing. And we lost so much money on this thing, even though
events are so hard.
Oh my God, even though we sold it out. Yeah. Like I made every mistake in the world with merch. It was just so dumb. Like, oh my God, my merch went to the place where, I always wonder when somebody wins a Super Bowl, the other team had the hats printed out too.
Oh yeah.
Where do those go? Yeah. Well, they go wherever our shirts went, because we didn't sell them. So we get to rehearsals. I think Charlotte is about to have PTSD. We get to rehearsals. Like, what are all these people doing here? There were 35 people there. There were cases of stuff. Like, I'm like, and everyone's panicking. I'm like, we got this, guys. And then I realize, I'm like, just show me the clicker. We'll start working on the slides. They're like, there's no slides. You have a 47 animation deck that is fully stacked that can't be changed. And Jason over there use it based on you hitting the lines of the show you don't know.
Oh, God. This sounds awful.
It was awful. And so Charlotte was forced to create a makeshift teleprompter because I didn't know my own show because I'm
me too.
And then, of course, I dragged my 2 daughters into this who both don't want to do it with me. And what could be more fun than to work out your mother-daughter trauma on a stage as a comedy skit with your 2 daughters who don't want to be there and you don't know your own show?
Oh my God.
So basically, I stayed up all night memorizing. If you walked into my dressing room first 2 nights of that show, it would have smelled worse than any porta potty at a construction site. The stress, diarrhea. I have never, I make
have you
a living.
been in a porta potty at a construction
Yes,
site?
I have.
Okay, me
yes,
too.
I have.
We did a video there, and that is a smell, Mel.
Yes, you got to pull up your pants.
Oh God, and it's
you
hot.
have to brace, you don't want to touch it.
No,
You have to hold your knees.
When the barrier gets broken, when you have to suck the stuff out, is really
God.
that's the ticket right there.
So
come to the show, everyone.
Oh my gosh! So no, but so the first night was so awful because I've never spoken at night. So it didn't even occur people would be drunk. They're coming for a good time. Half the people were dragged there on a date night and don't even know who the hell I am.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then it just was one thing. And then we didn't put mics out into the audience. So we didn't have a return. And we had never done a full rehearsal because I didn't know the show. And so we get out there, the lights were too high. We could see everybody. I don't know the show. My daughter's like this, stiff as a penguin. Every joke we're cracking that we thought sounded great above the garage in Vermont, we can't hear anybody laughing. So we're looking at each other like, this sucks. Oh my God, this is terrible. Oh my God. I'm acting. This is horrible. So we walk off stage. The whole crew's like, that was amazing. I'm like, I quit. I'm going to do an Adele video. This was the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. I stayed up that night. I had 3 martinis. I stayed up to 1:30 in the morning. I was so upset. I'm like, I'm making a video. We're canceling the show. We're not ready for this. So I was like, I'm not doing that again. Go to bed. And I wake up and I'm laying in bed. I did not follow my Hot 15 that morning. I called my husband hungover and I started crying. And I said, honey, it was so terrible. It was so awful. Sawyer hates it. The kids don't want to be here. What have I done? Why didn't I just do a speech? And he's like, Mel, get your fucking ass out of bed. You get back to that theater. You go learn your show.
Oh, I like him.
And
wow.
There was something. And at some point, you just have to rip the Band-Aid off and do the thing. And ship the video and post the podcast episode and walk out on that stage because you're never going to be ready for the first time you do it. It was so cringy. People loved it. I didn't love the experience of it. The show was fantastic. People loved it.
Yeah, you're doing it again and it's selling out
but I
already.
mean the first night.
Oh,
even.
Yeah.
The second night, it was like let's just have fun. And it was way better. And then the third night, oh my God, by the third night, all the wheels were off. We were having a blast. It started with 6 Boston police officers, only in Boston. 6 Boston police officers come in at the beginning of the show because 2 women are fighting at the Let Them Theory show. Fist fighting. That they have to get removed by 6 Boston police. Thank you to the Boston police officer. Boston's finest.
This is so Boston.
Yes, and so, but we just are, so here's going back to the fact that I'm crazy intentional. Here was my intention for the show. My intention was to have fun. It was to try something I'd never tried before. And by the time we were done, to feel like the closing night at the Apollo Theater in London was the best show that we did of the entire tour, that every single time we did it, it got better. We learned something, that we had a lot of fun doing that, and that people really loved it. That was my intention. And then I would say, and I just don't want to lose too much money.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law, who's my CFO, would text me and COO and would be like, would you please stop saying that in meetings? Because people are taking you seriously. And that's what happened.
Oh, it's incredible.
And so it was such an incredible gift because at the age of 56, do something that far out of your comfort zone and to stretch yourself creatively. It brought out that sort of stand-up side that I could express in a way that I can't express all the time. And it allowed me to perform and really make an impact differently. And I loved it. And so we're going, and the other thing that I loved is on my deathbed, I will remember that experience with my daughters. It's one of the highlights of my life. Like, we worked out so much shit. That was like 4 weeks. I don't recommend it. But, just the amount of things that happened and the amount of growth and connection that we shared and that I shared with the extraordinary women and men that were part of that